Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into MB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight, the Valley Boys declared the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade winners. Fears that NHI will diminish the quality of health care. Junkanooers say they have nothing to prove since Carnival entered the cultural scene. Plus, as always, we count down the top quotes and news this week. I'm Paige McCartney. We've got those stories and much more straight ahead on MB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to MB12. Before a crowd of spectators, the Valley Boys were declared the champions of the 2015 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, snatching the title away from last year's winners, One Family, which came in second this time around. The Saxons came in third, followed by the Roots and Music Makers in fifth place. The roar from the crowd said it all.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our announcement this afternoon with regard to the 2015 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade unofficial results. We wish to say once again to the Junkanoo leaders that the unofficial results will be officially released tomorrow.
The crowd erupted moments after Junkanoo Parade Management Committee Chairman Jeff Lloyd announced the unofficial results of the Boxing Day Parade.
In third place, with 84.378 points, Saxons. In second place, with 85.26 points, One Family. The winner of the 2015 Boxing Day Parade, unofficially, with 87.81 points, the Valley Boys.
And for the 8th year in a row, Colors Junkanoo Group was the overall winner in the B Group category.
The overall position in the B division. Sixth place, 62.36 points, Body of Christ. Fifth place, 64.28 points, Redland Soldiers. Fourth place, 67.06 points, Fancy Dancers. Third place, 69.67 points, Original Congos. Second place, 70.38 points, Conquerors for Christ. The winner, Colors, with 75.34 points.
But there was some upset as the Prodigal Sons group, which applied to compete in the category A this year, didn't meet the requirements and was therefore disqualified.
Prodigal Sons were rendered ineligible, which is a term that people also substitute for disqualified, because they did not meet the requirements for performing on day 2 this morning, even though, as the record shows, they did in fact perform. And there were two egregious errors committed. One, they missed their turn of entry. They missed their turn of entry, as well as they did not come to base measurement with the prescribed minimum on a minimum, according to the rules, 201. They did not. They missed it.
As for the exhibition group Genesis, Lloyd said that group completed all of the requirements to become a legitimate member of the Junkanoo community and can now compete in the New Year's parade if it chooses.
So it is expected that once these results are ratified, barring, as you know, any protests, and beginning according to the rules tomorrow at 12 noon, they have 48 hours from that point to lodge any protests, and any group can lodge a protest about any infraction of the rules or misapplication of the rules that they consider may have occurred. So that's what we are going to see. Now, the group called Exodus, I don't think, showed up yesterday morning. I didn't record Exodus as an exhibition group. performing yesterday morning.
In other news tonight, police say 2 men died in a tragic car accident overnight. Reports are that the driver of a black Honda Accord crashed into a utility pole on John F. Kennedy Drive in the area of West Ridge. The driver and his passenger were pronounced dead on scene. Search and rescue efforts are also going on to locate a man who went missing at sea in waters off Eleuthera yesterday. According to police reports, shortly after 11 a.m., 2 men were fishing in the waters 3 miles off Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, when their boat capsized, throwing the 2 of them into the water. One of the men was able to swim to a nearby key where he was rescued by a passing boater, but the other man, identified as 39-year-old Robin Cadet of Governor's Harbor, remains missing. Police, along with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers, are leading the search and rescue efforts. Well, former F&M Senator and well-known physician Dr. Dwayne Sands is insisting that NHI, as it's being currently proposed, could negatively impact the quality of health care. He's insisting that the volume of patients doctors are expected to take on under NHI could result in fewer patient visits and quality of care for some Bahamians.
For those 5,000 patients who are going to be getting this NHI card, it means that you are eligible on average to get 3 15-minute visits to the doctor per year. Now, that includes if you're a pregnant woman, that includes if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease. If your child is sick, 3 15-minute visits per year. That is what NHI is going to provide on average.
Sands says based on his calculations, he estimates that NHI could also result in restricted doctor's visits for some patients.
If we are going to be embarking on this road, we ought to bring everybody up to a better standard, not bring everybody down.
Sands, who earlier this month attended a meeting with the private sector and the government's NHI Secretariat and implementation team, says it's still quite obvious that none of the agreements necessary for a successful launch were in place.
The government doesn't seem to take the concerns of the people of the Bahamas, the medical professionals, the insurance professionals, the business community seriously. They've made a decision. They're going to go with what they're going to go with, and that's it.
And the government plans to introduce the first phase of NHI, which is a registration program, on January 1st. The program will be phased in over a period of 5 years, according to the government. In mid-December, it was announced that the National Insurance Board's new smart card would be used as the identification card for NHI, and an enhanced registration will begin on January 18th. Well, lingering uncertainty surrounding NHI may doom the controversial healthcare scheme even before it's fully implemented. Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation Chief Executive Officer Edison Sumner says, with time quickly running out before the first phase is implemented next month, those uncertainties will no doubt present a challenge for the government early next year.
The actuary at NIB. We have had some meetings with the government. We've had some meetings with government representatives. We've had some meetings with the consultant, but the information that we have is still incomplete. There are questions that we had that have not been answered. There's some fundamental details that we need to know that have not been crystallized.
The Chamber recently organized the NHI Review Committee, comprised of representatives from the insurance sector, medical professionals, and other stakeholders, to assess the likely impact of NHI on the economy. Insurance companies have complained about not being adequately involved in the process. Sumner says the Chamber has had similar challenges.
We've been hearing a lot of the 20-foot details, but we have not been getting the on-the-ground details of exactly how some things are intended to work. So for us, we are operating from a place of lack of full information, and because of that, we are unable to make informed decisions. We're unable to advise our members and the business community properly.
Earlier this month, Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. DeLon Brennan said the first year of primary care services under NHI, scheduled to begin in April, will cost around $100 million. The Bahamas Insurance Association put the annual cost at around $1 billion. Stay with us. When MB12 returns, do Junkanooers have anything to prove after Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival? That and other stories when we come right back.